On this channel, called Mobile Dwellings, we build, live in, and tour homes that you can take with you anywhere you want. In our case, it's a 40-foot school bus that we turn into this sweet tiny home. And right now we are working on a 34-foot transit bus for our friends Katie and Sam. Today we are installing 2 Maxxair fans in the roof of their bus. Stick around for tips and tricks and install instructions. This video is brought to you by the Jackery 1000, an off-grid electric solar generator. More on that later.
Mommy's are Seabedo. Mommy, Wimbedo.
You're Wimbedo, I'm Seabedo.
You guys are geniuses, inventing your own languages. All right, so the reason that this is my favorite vent fan for buses, RVs, or vans is that this is the only one that I'm aware of that you can run while it's raining. So because of the shape of this vent and the way that it sends the air down as it puts it out of the bus, it means that this doesn't have to close just because it's raining. That's the big thing. You want to be able to ventilate in all conditions because especially here in the Southeast, there's some long rainstorms while it's hot outside. And the fan's not gonna provide any relief without being able to vent air out or bring air in. So that's the main reason for going for the Maxxair fan. This particular one, which is the white lid 5100K, is the one that we went with because it does have a temperature sensor to automatically turn the fan on and off, but it doesn't have an automatic lifting or lowering lid. Personally, I would prefer to have less things that could break, like that motor that lifts and closes the lid, which has to run every single time it's turned on and off because it automatically closes itself when you turn it off. This one has a manual lid. All you have to do is turn a little knob like 3 times and it opens and closes. For us, we think manual motor, manual buttons, probably the way to go, especially if you're in a van and it's like right there. It's a no-brainer, just get this one. It's cheaper, it's better. All right, so I'm definitely not fantastic at layout. That just took me 10 minutes, but we needed exactly 14-inch square to cut for this thing to fit in. And I've also marked a center point. We're gonna drill to the center point and check it from underneath the bus to see if it still looks perfectly square from the bottom, because that's where it's gonna matter. All right, so when we came down here to check to see if this hole is in the direct center of the bus, we were not content with what we saw. It seemed like it was off by about 1 inch. The best we could come up with was we held a level as centered and straight as we could, and then we measured left to right, right to left, until we were pretty convinced that we were in the center of the bus. And that ended up with about 1.1 inches further away from our original hole. We're gonna adjust everything up there by 1.1 inch to the driver's side of the bus, and then we're gonna finally cut this hole. All right, so now that we are finally done with layout, we are going to be drilling the holes to fit our jigsaw blade into the metal. So we're gonna start with a medium-sized blade, and then we're gonna grab a larger blade. Does that fit my drill bit? No, it doesn't. So we've cut this out to be a pretty snug fit, and there's no harm in going a little bit outside of the lines, cutting too big of a hole. We don't want too small of a hole. It's gonna be hard to fix if we make too small of a hole. So we're gonna try and take the line as we do this. Cool, so. All right, so I do want to clean up this edge with, I just got this angle grinder with the flap disc. You could use a metal file. All right, and I'm gonna go grab this spray paint. Covered up that hole just to make this hole. All right, so this is taking a while, but it's going well. We're gonna have a fan in here soon. Really excited to test this out. What do you think about the Jackery, Sam?
I think it's pretty sweet. It's gonna let us install the fan and then power the fan.
So the reason that we had to be so diligent with the placement of these hatches is because we want to fit 6 solar panels in between them, so to speak. 2 are going to go in the front of the bus, and then we've got the fan, and then we've got 3 that go in the middle of the bus, and then a fan, and then 1 that goes in the back of the bus, and either 2 more in the very back for 8 solar panels, or a 6-foot deck. All right, so we're ready to pop this fan in here and turn it on and test it out. All right, so let's take the Jackery down there and let's power this fan up with the Jackery and run this bad boy. LaCroix boys, I'm gonna own it. LaCroix boy. This episode of Mobile Dwellings is brought to you by the Jackery 1000 solar generator. The Jackery 1000 solar generator is an all-in-one off-grid solar solution with 1,000 watt-hours of battery power, a pure sine wave inverter, and 2 foldable 100-watt solar panels. For us, that means we can have portable power for a whole bunch of appliances off-grid, as well as backup power in the event of a power outage or an emergency. It has 2 USB ports, 2 USB-C ports, 1 car charger outlet, and 3 pure sine wave AC outlets. It also has an MPPT charge controller built in, which means that we can charge it up with the included 200-watt portable panels. This little all-in-one solar generator is just 22 pounds, which means it's easy to lug around and it's already come in handy during this build. Thank you, Jackery, for supporting our channel, and check out the link below to read more about this product and figure out if it's right for you and your needs. All right, back to the show. All right, so we're gonna hook up the Jackery to both these fans to run them throughout the course of this build until we get our DC power set up. But we have to splice in some USB chargers into these lines first. I do still have this Lion Energy lithium battery, and we're just gonna connect a fan to it so that we can see what it feels like, sounds like, and looks like.
All right, so we're gonna turn it on.
Yeah.
Oh wow, it's really blowing now.
Yeah.
Nice work, guys. How do I open it?
Turn that knob to the left.
Ah, I see.
Sick.
Sick.
All right, Sam, we have 1 hour. Let's knock out a hatch. We can do this. All right, so here's a little bit of a sneak peek to next week's video, but I did just get the die core in the mail to seal up these hatch covers and these Maxxair fans. Seems to be the industry standard for roof penetrations. Die core self-leveling lap sealant, doesn't dry out, doesn't get damaged by UV rays. Available on Amazon for a decent price. Links below. All right, so now that these Maxxair fans are all installed, all sealed up, I've got one last thing to show you, and that's how to wire them. So I bought this product on Amazon, and of course, it is linked below. And this here will allow me to plug into the 12-volt port in the Jackery and connect. So I'm gonna knock that out real quick, and then this fan will be running. All right, so right here I am replacing these ring connectors with these spade receiver connectors. And they're tight. All right, so I have plugged in the positive to the positive, the negative to the negative. And now I can plug this into the Jackery and this fan will hopefully run. I heard a little beep over here, which is great news. All right. That is amazing. So guys, that is awesome. We now have a vent fan being powered by the Jackery for the rest of the build. It's gonna help send some of this warm air out and keep this place cool, which I'm really excited about. Thank you, Jackery, once again for sending us this product and for sponsoring this video. Hit that like button if you got some value out of this video. Hit the subscribe button if you wanna see more, and we'll see you next time.